Hey everybody, welcome to Visual Communication and Media. My name is Adam Rzeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you. I will be the one that will be guiding you over the next 5.5 weeks on visuals, and we'll have all these sorts of discussions about how they're built and how they're designed and how much visual communication is very important. And I'm sure a few of you, or half of you or so, probably looked at this class and they saw the title like, well, it's visual communication. You take a look at visuals and see how we communicate. We do that on a regular daily basis, watching TV and with computers and apps. We see visuals all the time. Should be, pretty less detailed. But in fact, visual communication is very important. No matter what you do in the world, you are communicating through visuals. Surprisingly enough, talking only does about maybe 20-25% actual communication. The rest is done through visuals, body language, signs, semiotics, which is shown through different signs and how they're built, and the interpretation based upon cultures. There's so many different ways visuals are built and how they're built for specific audiences. And this can be done in anything. You might be I come from video games, and I've worked in the video game industry for 12 years and simulation, and we use it for tutorials and to teach people how to build games and to let people know when you're getting attacked, or when you're taking a look and learning something from there, because we're not there physically to teach you the games. We have to build systems that are intuitive for you to understand how to work and use those games without us being there. And so visuals are very important. But this could also happen in the nursing industry, where you're building charts, or you're building some type of medical drug archive or something like that, and you have to create a system in place so people can understand it and learn and then use it, or you have to create a documentation system or a document to where you are understanding patients' charts or everything from there, or some type of bill or anything. And you have to write it or create it in a way so that everybody can understand it with visuals and words specifically. And so it's very important. No matter what industry you go into, you're using visual communication and you're building visuals that target specific people. And that's what we're going to be going into. We're going to go into details. We're going to have a lot of discussions. We're going to take a look at a lot of examples. It'll be a lot of fun and definitely be a lot more interactive than what people think right off the bat of what the title says. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to take you on this journey, and we'll definitely have a lot of fun no matter what. So a little bit about my background. I come from video games. I've worked there for 12.5 years in simulation and VR, 10 in video games, about 2 in VR and simulation. I'd say 3 or 4 of those, or 2 of those last years in video games was in VR. The last 2 years was in simulation specifically. But beforehand I worked in the airlines. I got my associate's degree in mechanical engineering from Penn State when I was playing hockey for them. Tore my knee out, but I was a big video gamer and did a lot of competitive gaming on Gran Turismo, Battlefront 2, and multiple MMOs when MMOs were really popular in the 90s and the 2000s really heavily. Played a lot like EverQuest. I played World of Warcraft. I was Lord of the Rings. I was one of the top guards on there. I played a lot of Aeon as well, and yeah, I was a very big competitive gamer in the player versus player areas. But eventually I wanted to learn how to build games and be a part of the industry in some way. So I ended up going to UCF in Full Sail and got my bachelor's in entertainment business, and then I double mastered in project management and game design. And I've been doing this for about 12 years now, and I started off in GP Games as an internal producer. Then I moved to Activision as a gameplay analyst and EA, and then I worked my way up as a designer in EA and an internal producer over there. Then I worked with a lot of startup companies after that. Worked on a ton of games, at least 50 over my career, 40, 50 games. Did a lot of... did also design as well. I was the designer on Dragon Age Inquisition for tutorials. I also did the recruiting system and the Dynasty mode for NCAA 14. But most of the games I worked on were either analysts or as a producer. I was leading project teams, and that's where my experience comes from. But yeah, just a little bit about myself. And so if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to get into the game industry, let me know. I'd be happy to talk with you about it and go from there. But yeah, so we're going to have 3 different types of assignments. We're going to have discussions. Discussions are always going to be on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Your initial post will be due on Tuesday, and your reply post will be on Saturday. They'll be graded separately. It's kind of hard on Blackboard to like separate those because they just want one due date. So I always put the Saturday date. But please make sure you turn in your initial posts and your reply posts. Initials is always on Tuesday, replies on Saturday, except for week 1. Your initial post will be due on Saturday because we don't have a Tuesday this week, so make sure about that. And then the final week, your reply post, that'll be due on Friday instead of Saturday because the last day of class is June 14th. And then you also have written assignments. Those are always going to be due on Sunday nights, 11:59 p.m. Please make sure to have them in because once it rolls over to Monday, it turns to late and it goes from there. So please make sure you have those in right off the bat. So yeah, written assignments first week. Written assignments are always due on Sunday, final day, which is week 6. That'll be on a Friday, June 14th. So yeah. And then we also have live lectures as well. This is one thing I'm not lenient about because it's tied to your attendance specifically. So there is a lecture assignment. I will show you how to do the lecture assignment on class. Same thing with your assignments as well. I go over everything in your assignments and I show examples of your discussions, and I also show examples of good written assignments so you have an idea of what I'm looking for. I'm very specific on my feedback and I'm very detailed, so I will go over everything, and so that way you can learn and improve and get better. I'm a big thing about details. That's one thing I've learned in project management and over the years, and if I can install that to you, then you'll make sure you look over every single detail and make sure these are thorough and professional, because the more you do that, the more it's going to look in your work as you move on into the actual working environment. So I want to hopefully teach that to you and really go further as best as I can. So yeah, my feedback's very detailed, but I also give unlimited turn-ins for everything except for live lectures. And the assignments, and I'll go over the live lectures on Thursday and how important they are, along with the other assignments as well. So, but yeah, live lectures are always on Tuesday each week, except for week 1, which is on Thursday. Please see the announcement. The first lecture will be 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Central. That'll be that. But everything else will take place on a Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, except for week 1. Please see the announcements. Now, you don't have to be there for the lectures, but in order to record your attendance in your live lecture, to get those points, because they're pass-fail, they need to be in by Sunday no matter what. I won't take lates for these because they're tied to your attendance, so you need to have this turned in no matter what. And I'll explain more during lecture, but what happens if you miss a lecture? So it's okay. We have recordings, and that's what's really important about that. So I always post the recording later that night or the next morning after. And how do you record your attendance? So you're going to do your lecture assignment. I'll show you how to complete your lecture assignment and how to get to your attendance on Thursday. And they're 5 points per lecture. They might be small points, but they're important because those 6 lectures equal 30 points, and those 30 points can get you from like a B to an A or a C to a B or something. So, and they're really tied to your attendance, so you got to make sure you turn them in on Sundays because they're pass-fail. So there's no lates on them. You have to turn your lectures on Sunday no matter what. So this is one thing I'm not lenient on to go from there. So please make sure you do that. Other than that, just have some class expectations. Late assignments, except for the first week, you just need to make sure you get your assignments in by Sunday and Saturday, what they're due with. That would be great. But no matter what, after week 2 and on, every day assignments late, it's 5% of your grade. And then after 7 days, it goes to a 0. So please make sure about that. Also, be courteous and respectful in your discussion posts because we do a lot of critiques and feedbacks here. So you need to be a professional and thorough on your discussions. That's a big thing. Be thorough. Please don't give me like 1 sentence or 2 sentences of reply and just agree to things. we're going to do a lot of analysis and analytics. So I want you to really give reasons as to why you think this way. And here's an example of the reason why you do this. And I always request 2 paragraphs per post. Initial post has to be 2 paragraphs, and your reply posts have to be 2 paragraphs, which is like 4 to 5 sentences. I would really like that. So you should have 4 paragraphs total for your assignments, and that would be great. We'll go over this all during lectures, so you have a good idea of what's going on and to make sure what's going through. And then the big thing is 2 rules: discover and have fun. I hope you are able to find something and learn something. and have some fun with it, because we're going to be talking about a lot of discussions. We're going to be talking a lot about images and how they're created, and what are some things that work well and what don't work well, and how things are beautiful and how things are built so that you can tell what's fake and what's not, and that's a big thing there too, because ethics play a part in this. So yeah, we're going to talk all about this. Hope to see everybody for lecture 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And yeah, it was a pleasure meeting everybody. I'm really excited to have y'all here, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hope to see everyone there, and hope everybody has a great week, and see everybody on Thursday for the class. All right. It was a pleasure meeting y'all. Take it easy, and see everyone for lecture. Take it easy. Bye-bye.